Hello guys, what you see here is a brand new handheld console by Valve called Steam Deck. Now, no, this is not a game that you're going to stream games to. This is a handheld PC-like device. Yes, with a GPU inside, with everything that allows you to play high-quality games and it's very, very powerful. Well, now, how much powerful? Well, according to an interview with IGN, the GPU is based on AMD RDNA 2 architecture, which means support ray tracing, variable ray shading, and the APU combined power is about 2 teraflops. So this means you can play almost any game in your Steam library at 720p without any issues. So basically, this says around medium to high settings at smooth frame rates. And on the screen, you can actually see the exact processor, RAM, and storage hardware specifications from the official website. Now, all of the three will provide you with the same exact performance, except the difference between the different three versions is the storage. So as you can see, there's the one with 64 gigabytes eMMC. Again, some of them are faster, of course. The other one is 256 and better technology, faster storage, PCIe Gen 3, as you can see. And the last one, with as the largest storage, is 520 gigabytes high-speed NVMe SSD. Keep in mind, you can, all of them, as you can see, models include high-speed micro SD card slots. You can actually expand the storage and install games on the on the micro SD card, and they will appear immediately in the library, so you can actually play them straight away. Now, of course, you need to keep in mind that the screen is a 7-inch LCD display, by the way, optimized for display text very, very clearly. It runs on a lower resolution, of course, compared to your regular display at home, only 720p. And to be more precise, 1280 by 800 pixels in 16 by 10 aspects ratio, widescreen. Now, this is the reason, of course, why you can run all these games, the PC games, in great frame rates. Everything going to be smooth because it's going to run those games in a lower resolution. So just for comparison here in terms of teraflops, but it's important to keep in mind that the increase in teraflop doesn't translate exactly to the proportional increase in performance, but it gives you an indication, more or less, because there are other things, of course, that impact the performance. So as you can see here, it actually resembles the performance close to the PlayStation 4, as you can see, right? PlayStation 4, more than the Xbox One, more or less. This is really high performance. Now, before we go talking about the other feature, let's take a look at the pricing. So this is in dollars. I'm going to see you in euros, by the way, what I see in a moment. So $400 for the first model, 64 gigabytes, $529 for the 256 gigabytes, and $649 for the 520. And this is what I see in euros, for 19 for the 64 gigabytes, 549 and 679 for the 520 gigabytes. And if you're thinking about, comparing this to the Nintendo Switch OLED, the OLED model is $50 more expensive than the original Nintendo Switch, and you can buy it for $350. So only $50 more, you can get a handheld device which is much, much more powerful. And of course, you can play all the games that you already have in your Steam library. Think how amazing it is just thinking about it. And we're going to go quickly at all the other features. Again, the screen itself is a multi-touch display, all right? We have trackpads on both sides, very precise trackpads. We also have a built-in gyro, so you can actually rotate the device. And of course, the positioning, the orientation of the device will be available for developers to take advantage of. We also have hi-fi audio with embedded DSP. We have a 40 watt battery it's called watt-hour battery, provides several hours of playtime. They actually said, of course it depends on the game, but it should provide you with several hours. If you're using light things like web browsing, and smaller 2D games, it should provide you with a battery of maximum about 7 to 8 hours. But of course, it depends on the game that you are playing. Or not just the game, whatever you are doing with your device. Now in this image, you can actually see that we have a D-pad on the left side, 2 thumbsticks, options button, view button, 2 mix at the top, ABXY buttons at the right, the 2 trackpads, you can see them here, a left and right speaker in front, a Steam button, and a quick access button. That's for the front. All right, now we are looking at the top of the controller, of the head of the device. So we have the L2 and L1 button. We have the volume buttons, you see, plus and minus to reduce and increase the volume. We have the headphone jack at the top. We have a fan, all right, Type-C port, status LED, power button, and R2 and R1 buttons as well. Now at the back you can actually see the back buttons. There are 4 of them, R5, R4, R5, and L5, L4. And at the bottom there is the micro SD card slot, which you can actually see here, but it adds the bottom. Now regarding the USB-C there that you saw, this is kind of have a multi-purpose. It's used for charging, for peripherals. You can even connect to a big display, and you can actually, if you have a big screen you are taking with you, maybe you travel, you can just connect it to a bigger display and actually play your games like that. You don't need even a laptop for that, which is, think about this, is so cool. There is a hub which allows you to expand your options, which again, this is an official hub. All right, so you can see the DAC. The official DAC comes with USB-C cable to Steam Deck. DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0, power in Ethernet, USB 3.1, and 2 USB 2 ports. Now keep in mind, and I'm going to quote this from SteamDeck.com, you can also install and use PC software. Of course, browse the web, watch streaming video, do your normal productivity stuff, install some other game stores, whatever. Alright, keep in mind, you can install other type of software as well. And I remember even on the video of IGN, they actually mentioned you can even install Windows on that. But of course, I didn't see anything, actual, somebody actually installed Windows and showcasing it. But this is something that can be done. I mean, that's what I've heard. But I'm sure people will try it out once they get a device. Now, speaking of operating system, and this is again from the official website, this run on a new Steam operating system. And I'm going to quote now, on Steam Deck, your games run on different operating system than the one on your desktop PC. It's a new version of Steam OS, built with Steam Deck in mind and optimized for handheld gaming. If you even see, for example, the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and other handheld devices or consoles, the operating system is optimized again for performance. There are not all this in quotation garbage that you have and all these other services that run that can actually impair the performance. This is really optimized to give you the best performance possible. I'm going to quote again, it comes with Proton, a compatibility layer that makes it possible to run your games without any porting work needed from developers. For that, we're vastly improving the Proton's game compatibility and support for anti-cheat solution by working directly with the vendors. Now there's actually a link you can actually press, and when you tap it, it says it's a Linux system. You know this. The new version of SteamOS is optimized for handheld gaming and it won't get in your way with other stuff. But if you want to get your hands dirty, head on out to the desktop. Well, there's so many ways you can actually install other things there. But again, we're going to dive into it later once I find more information. But again, the possibilities here are probably endless. Now, yeah, you're probably thinking, oh my God, I've just thought about getting the Nintendo Switch OLED version, and now this one comes out. Of course, keep in mind that there are, of course, if you buy the Nintendo Switch, you need to know, of course, there are exclusive games for the Nintendo Switch that you won't be able to play on other consoles. Of course, this is one of the reasons to think about getting, and if you're into Nintendo games, the ones that are exclusive for Nintendo Switch, it's no brainer, right? And just thinking all that, playing all these games on this handheld console, such a powerful consoles, and these overlay features we can use in game, because it's such a powerful and it uses the latest technologies, and it's carefully optimized to be very, very comfortable ergonomic wise. What can I say? This is seems like a dream come true. And if it comes from Valve, we're probably maybe maybe exclusives for the handle. I'm not sure that this will happen, but who knows, maybe. Now, the one thing that I haven't found information about is whether if I want to play, for example, with my Oculus Quest 2, and I want to connect it to this console, whether it will work or not. I have no idea. If you know, let me know in the comment section below. But other than this was absolutely an amazing handheld console. And wow, just wow. And the price seems just right. I mean, even if you go for the, just $50 more than the OLED version, such a powerful handheld console, which you can play all the games that you already own. This is just crazy. And you can even install maybe other stores, apps, and play the game as well here. I mean, you shouldn't be limited to just the Steam store. Anyway, this is just insane. So let me hear what you think about these new handheld consoles from Valve. Consider subscribing to my channel, give this one a little like. I see you soon on the next video. Bye everyone, cheers.